Hello and welcome to my top 10 Gundam Age photos. Actually, it's going to be top 11, and it's not even photos. It's mobile suits or whatever. I almost said model kits. Anyway, I'm going to do this all in one go to cut down on the hissing. I already know the order because this one's pretty set with what I'm going to do. It's going to be my favorite per generation. I'm going to do a little bit of cheating during the 3 protagonist generation, which is like the final arc. And then I was going to choose 2 from side stories, but I ended up with 3 of them. So it's going to be a top 11. And there's no real particular order. I'm going to do it by generation, and I'm going to round it out with the side stories. So anyway, let's begin with the first one, which would be the G-Axis. I love the G-Axis. This thing is so cool. It's pretty much shows who Wolfgang Ackle was as a character, which is, I couldn't get the Gundam, so I'm going to have them make me my own Gundam. Take a Sandal, make a fucking Gundam out of it. This thing had amazing performance, it looked awesome, and it was piloted by my favorite character in the series. I haven't even watched the series, and Wolf is my favorite character. Just because he's the wingman he's the wingman-like character I really like. Where he's cool, he's overconfident, and he's confident in his abilities, he's overconfident, and then he becomes a mentor, which is, like, really cool. I really like that in a character. So it's more the idea of the character with the suit's design, with what it does, plus this thing totally looks like Optimus Prime with the right paint scheme. That does nothing to actually enhance it to me. It's really cool. And it was also one of the first model kits I got when I got back into Gunpla, which probably helped make it something that I really gravitated towards. And I grabbed it at random because I figured panel lining on a white suit, easy! Moving on to the next one, it's the Zetus. And the Zetus is probably my favorite of the first generation Vagan suits. And probably my second favorite Vagan suit overall. Yeah, you can say its transformed state looks like a duck. You can say a lot of jokes about it, but really, they got a design that worked. That just looks really cool to me. My Zetus model kit is a Zetus R. Mainly because I just like the red highlights on it. I know there's a Zetus with yellow highlights. I also like the idea that along the way they made a Zetus cannon, so that's pretty cool. I just like the Zetus overall. I can't really say why I like it. I just kind of like it. Moving on, going into our second generation. My pick for the Federation would be the Double Bullet. The Double Bullet is just, I think it's my favorite of the Age 2 designs. If only because it doesn't really look all that different. It's got a simplistic enough design where it's cool. It does a lot of things right for me, and I really, if I don't get the advanced grade, I'm gonna get the high grade someday. Assuming advanced grades ever, stop going up in price. I mean, God, I know the time I get it, it's gonna be like $70 model kit for something that was originally only $7. Looking at you, Kronos. Speaking of Kronos, perfect segue. My favorite Vagan suit of the second generation is the Kronos. This thing, you'd be surprised that the thing that killed my favorite character, spoilers by the way, is my favorite kit of that generation. I don't know, I just really like it. I like it more than I like the Zadora. It has a really cool design, and I'm extremely upset at Bandai. Why didn't you make this a high grade? I mean, you already kind of pretty much had the mold with the Zadora. Hell, why not make it a Bandai Pro Shop exclusive? You love making minor alterations to existing kits and calling them Bandai Pro Shop exclusives. Come on, what the fuck is wrong with you? I will gladly pay $50 for this thing. Please, consider it. I know they'll never hear that. Anywho, so, moving on to the third generation. My favorite would be the Clanch Custom. That's Federation. And really, that's only because I just kind of like the Clanch overall. It's a transformable machine that looks kind of cool. And there's not really a whole lot of other options. I mean, there's the Genesis Custom. They're not the Genoese Custom, but there's like the Genoese 3. There's the Genoese. There's a custom Genoese, like Genoese O, I believe it is. I don't think there is a Genoese 3. There's Adele Mach 2s. There's the variations of the Age 3. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to choose from here, so I go with the Clanch. Custom, if only because it's custom, it has a nice paint scheme, and I have the model kit. Okay, something just moved in the background. I was trying to figure out what it is. It's my, I have a garbage bag that's settling, because I've been cleaning the house all day. Anywho, moving on to the Vegan suit. It's Giraga. Yeah, it's the Giraga. I had to think of its name, and because I'm not putting the photos up, I'm not actually looking at it. I have the advanced grade of this. I got it because it looks cool. I think the machine just looks cool overall. It's also the mask-wearing Rivals machine, which makes it really cool. And yeah, it's just a cool machine overall. I kind of like it. It kind of reminds me of Ava Unit 2. And I really like Evangelion. I'll admit it's kind of an overrated series, but I do like it. And Ava Unit 2 is probably my favorite Ava. So, there's that. Moving into the 3 Generations chapter, again, I mentioned I cheated. The one I like the most for, it's not even the Federation, it's the Basidian Space Pirates, or whatever the hell they call themselves. It's the Age 2 Dark Hound, which means the Age 2 is the only machine on this that's going to be listed twice. I like it. It's a pirate. It's piratey. Yar. Why not the Age FX? Kind of an obvious choice would have been to go with that, considering that's like literally the only new machine in that generation. Well, I guess there's the Age 1 that got brought out of the mothball shed, but you know what I mean? It's like very few options. And the same thing basically happened with my vegan choice, which is Gundam Legolas. I have the advanced grade as well. Surprise, surprise. I really just like the Legolas's design. You know, I even like the fact that it has a red variation for Sayhart personally, even though he piloted the white one in the series. It's just a really cool design, and I really like it. If this video is going by really, really fast, that's because I'm just kind of rambling as I go along. Now, moving into my out-of-series favorites, the first is the G-Zyphos. The G-Zyphos is really awesome. It's based off the G-Bouncer, which was really awesome in of itself, and very close to becoming the favorite of the Federation use during the second chapter, but I didn't want too many, you know, machines inspired by the man, the legend, Wolf Maniacal on the list, even though I have 2 Age 2s on the list, so whatever. It's just really cool, and it's a pirate. But I like the hook. I like the heat sword. It's got a heat whip on one variation of it. It's a pretty solid looking thing. And now moving into stuff that I don't really know what the... I almost said fuck, but yeah, I just said fuck anyway. So I don't really know what the fuck they are, but it's called the Glut, I believe. And this thing looks like a Hydra. Not a Hydra, but a Kronos. I'm looking at it right now. This thing is really cool looking, and it's based off the Kronos, which is like my favorite vegan design. So, you know, I really can't say anything more than I just really, really freaking love this design on it. And then the last one for the Federation is the Adele Starks, and I really like the Adele. It comes very close to... It's probably my favorite mass-produced grunt in the Federation. It's probably one of my favorite overall mass-produced grunts in any series. Because, let's face it, when you're looking at a GM clone, well, there's daggers, which I don't really like many of the dagger designs, at least the ones that got mass-produced. There's... Gee, 00 didn't really have one of those, did they? There's the Adele. There's... Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just the Dagger, the Genoese, the Adele, and I think there's a couple in X that, again, I haven't seen X, but most of the designs in Wing were based more off Zeonic grunts, not Federation grunts. So, for a Fedi grunt machine, this is pretty high on the list, especially considering it got mass-produced, and the Starks attachments, which I'm guessing they were originally for the Age 2, they just make it look even cooler. Or maybe they were Age 1 parts, I don't know. But I can only assume those are big-ass fucking cannons, and that makes it really awesome looking. I would buy an Adele Starks as a model kit. So, kind of there you have it. Everything I love. And editing this and putting the pictures to it is going to be a pain in the butt because I did not stop for breaks. I was not doing this as I was thinking. So, yeah. Finally, I can move on to Double O. Wow. I can move on to Double O. I might have to get some help on that one. I might actually get a friend in on that one and have him make some picks himself. Or just have him come in and ramble. So, yeah. Bye.